The Younger Dryas Impact Hypothesis versus the Yucatan Peninsula high likelihood but not totally confirmed impactor that took out the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. In the case of that one, there is an iridium layer that decreases or has a gradient effect out from it approximately. I mean, you can't check the bottom of the ocean and that sort of thing, but it's a pretty good likelihood. And there's a lot of information you'll find that contradicts it. This is to be acknowledged and accepted. This is called reality. Younger Dryas Impact Hypothesis originated in the 2006 book, and debate lives on because it's fun. It's a redo of a previous one that didn't cause as much damage. But the information about it shows a... well, there we go. Joke for the day. Google Maps can't find Younger Dryas Impact location. Make sure your search is spelled correctly. Try adding city, state, or zip code, etc. The problem with this is that the information concerning the subject does not consistently point to a specific location. It does not consistently point to a specific time. And anytime this is pointed out, some, not all, but not all Younger Dryas hypothesis advocates, but some do the Texas sharpshooter fallacy and don't talk about stuff that doesn't match. Meanwhile, you can debate the Yucatan Peninsula, I think it's called, impact location. I'll try to include a link below for that. Nothing is truly settled in science, and people like things that are settled sounding. That's why it gets popular. A lot of the evidence has been very interesting. Some of it has even been compelling. A lot of it has been poorly documented or unrepeatable, untestable, and therefore non-scientific, and lacks uniqueness in that it can't just be what your hypothesis points to. Now, I'm reading the critique of this. Now, public disclosure, I'm a fan of the Younger Dryas Impact Hypothesis. I like nice, neat disaster movie style explanations for things, because if anybody hasn't noticed it, this planet gets pelted a lot. So does all the others. And that immediately eliminates the problem of, when did this happen? It's about 12,000 years ago when humans arrived on North America, and in other locations humans were already there. A change happened. Winter's coming. Well, winter was ending. The ice age shifted a bit and then, started dying off, then went back to being really cold, and it had a ying going on. Proponents with tunnel vision on the Younger Dryas boundary, which is a separate subject I'm not covering, ignoring observations that are inconsistent with their impact hypothesis. This is a common thing. It happens all the time. I like my pet theory, screw yours. Independent analysis, peer review, etc. was unable to reproduce or confirm prior claims of name that subject. Carbon dating, particles, iridium, nanodiamonds, shock diamonds. So anyway, here we go. But anyway, these are the things that get in the way of this predictions of an impact event, because you have to be able to then make a hypothesis and test it against it over and over again. You keep fine-tuning it back and forth. If you keep ending up with a big area of uncertainty, you have to throw it out. And again, the extinction level event that took out the dinosaurs is in question for a lot of people too. There are arguments all over the place. So let's try to do this easy and even Steven here. Or, not even Steven. Maybe we can do Alan. Steve. Sorry, here we go. Magnetic particles and microspherules of various material can be produced other ways. Iridium is an element that almost exclusively comes from impactors, but the planet still has it, and it doesn't have to be a single impactor. Magnetic minerals, microspherules, carbon, nanodiamonds, all can be caused by an impact. That's, those happen. But purely terrestrial, non-catastrophic factors also can cause it, including a barrage of smaller meteors hitting at penetrative speeds where they actually do hit, but they're not as big. or hitting isolated locations that are obliterated from the map. Maybe we are missing some islands. Case in point, the impactor that didn't impact, it was an airburst. Airbursts can also cause this technically too, but that's very minimal. There needs to be a correlation for an extinction level event, just like the dinos. A Paleo-Indian demography study found no evidence of the population in that area having a decline at the time. There's no evidence of continent-wide wildfires caused by this, which is also part of it, instead of saying that it alone did something to cause blotting out the sun, Matrix style. They insist on it being continent-wide wildfires. The trouble is, there's evidence that most of the large wildfires had human origin. They were either accidents or deliberately caused fires. And as for a black mat, some of that can be explained by the simple processes of wetland environments producing layers of carbon-rich sponge. Also, carbon spherules can originate from funguses, even bacteria, microspheres, and insect fecal pellets, as well as, also I should point out, literally just fires can cause them. The carbon in plants can sometimes form what you and I would call soot, but it does form incredibly tiny round spheres of effectively liquefied, vaporized bubbles of carbon. It can actually happen. They puncture through and don't collapse on themselves. They fill up with air molecules after they cool down, and you get these microspherules. Carbon nanospheres. They can happen naturally. You know, it's possible. Next thing, carbon-14 dates for charcoal particles showed wildfires occurred before the proposed impact date and after and during by differences of something on the order of hundreds of years or even thousands of years. Yeah. Glass-like carbon was produced by wildfires in tests, and also no lunzadite was found in some layers with the same glass-like carbons. It should be pointed out that if you get a fire hot enough, yes, a wood fire can do all these crazy things, it can cause this sort of thing. So that's the way it is. Very large mammals, why should they preferentially be exterminated over small mammals? Also, why didn't all of them go extinct? A lot of them didn't go extinct, including the same groupings that are being cited. Some of them happened before the extraterrestrial impact and after, long times. Most of this was caused by humans at 1400 BC. At the end of this period of time, also megafauna on islands had extinctions that lagged by 1,000 years. They should have been affected directly by anything in the air. And they were right near continents. Australian megafauna extinction occurred earlier than this supposed event. These things don't match up completely. I do thank the person asking me about this, but this is kind of a snapshot of what is said about this to say probably not true. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And I'm still a fan of it because I love these kind of, you know, end of the world as we know it scenarios, obviously, because they're fun in a sick, twisted way. But there's more inconsistencies in this than there is in a lot of the other things we study.